Hey everybody, my name is Steven. Today I'm going to be doing a review of the ResoNix Sample Kit that you can order from ResoNix.com. ResoNix.com makes sound treatment materials that you can place inside of your vehicle to help improve with your car stereo performance or just improve your overall ride quality. When we think about improving car stereo performance or improving ride quality, one of the things that we can think about are reducing resonant and vibrational interference sounds and energies that come from the vehicle and into the cabin. If you have an aftermarket stereo or a high-powered stereo system, you understand that maybe there are vibrations or buzzes or resonant energies that occur that can detract from the overall quality of your sound, and sound treatment materials can help combat that. So ResoNix creates obviously a variety of materials that you can use, and I thought I would go over some of those today. Maybe this video will be helpful if you are considering sound deadening materials, or if you've been to the ResoNix website and still have a little bit more questions. I'm not at all affiliated with them. I just purchased this with my own money, and I'm just doing this because I would have liked to have a little video like this to see, so maybe someone else will get a benefit from it. So real quickly, we're going to go over some of these materials right here. The first thing we're going to talk about is right here. This is ResoNix CLD, or Constrained Layer Damper. So this is a material a lot like others you may have heard of before. Dynamat or Killmat or Boom Mat or Sound Skins. Any of these other materials essentially is what we have here, which is a adhesive layer that is bonded to a layer of butyl rubber that is capped off with a thin layer of aluminum. The way that this works is this adhesive is peeled, the adhesive cover is peeled back to expose the adhesive. This is going to be applied to the inside of the outer door skin. The outer door skin is a metal sheet. It can vibrate. It can produce resonant sounds that can interfere with your stereo quality, or it can just cause a lot of cabin noise, and maybe you don't want to deal with that anymore. So this is a great first layer if you are considering any sound treatment of any variety. This is the material, whether you go with ResoNix or another company, this is the material you should absolutely start with. So the way that this works, this is a layer of butyl rubber here. See this black shiny material. It's quite sticky. It's very viscous. I'm going to peel a little piece off here that has squeezed out of the side so you can see. It's very sticky. It stretches. It's this kind of sticky, black, rubbery. It can be messy if you're not careful. But what it does is that black resonant energy helps to absorb resonant and vibrational energies that come from maybe that wavering sheet metal door skin, and helps to reduce those. This butyl rubber contains some of those vibrational energies or those resonant energies and helps to reduce them. This constraining layer of aluminum on the top also helps to prevent that vibrational energy from transmitting further. Is it going to completely wipe it out? No, but will it decrease the amount of vibration or resonant energy that you have from those kinds of metal materials or those large surfaces? Absolutely. So again, the way this works, you sort of clean off the inside of the outer door skin with a material, with a cleaner like rubbing alcohol. This gets peeled off and then gets applied to the inside. ResoNix sells their regular CLD in 1 foot square pieces. You can get 10 square feet of this right now for $135. The material is 120 mils of butyl rubber and 4 mils of aluminum for a total of 3.15 millimeters, and that's according to the website. I just have my little calipers here. We're just going to check this out. 3.4, 3.3, 3.2, 3.15. Again, the regular is listed on the website as 3.15. This is obviously being cut and shipped, and so it may be a little bit thinner or thicker in some places, but let's not quibble. It's about 3.15 millimeters. This is their regular CLD. The step up from that is their Mega CLD. Still has the same 120 mil layer of butyl, but the aluminum layer on top is 4 times thicker at 12 mils for a total of 3.35 millimeters. So we're going to go, look at there, 3.36, come around a little bit, 3.4, come around, 3.1, 3.4, 3.5. So this is a going to be a sturdier product. It's going to be producing or capable of decreasing more resonance energy than the regular. This is also comes in 1 foot square pieces, just like the regular. This is $155 for 10 square feet versus $135 for 10 square feet of the regular. The CLD light, a lot thinner. You can see that's significantly thinner than the other material if we hold them up side by side. But this is nice if you have little tight spaces that you want to try and squeeze this material into. You can put it between pieces of things if you're concerned about that. This material comes in 18-inch by 32-inch sheet. So it's a much larger sheet, it's a rectangular sheet. It sells in a 36 square foot box, so I don't think you can get anything smaller than 36 square feet. This sells for $145 for 36 square feet of the CLD light. And I would say that this is a material that this is for someone that is going to seriously fine-tune their sound treatment in their vehicle, maybe getting it into much smaller places that may be not as easily accessible by these materials. Constrained layer damper. If you're putting in a sound system in your vehicle, you need to highly consider going with some constrained layer damping. All right, and the next material that we're going to talk about here is their ResoNix's Fiber Matte Black. This is Fiber Matte, their Black edition. This is what they call a decoupler material. So this is where this goes on the outer door skin inside the metal portions of the door. This is not something that goes in there. This is something that might go between the plastic door panel that's inside the cabin of the door and the inner door metal, maybe where the controls are located and things like that. What this material does is it helps to decouple or separate two surfaces that may vibrate or resonate against one another. You can see that layer peeling back, and there's the adhesive. This is very dense, obviously fibrous material. It almost looks like insulation. And what this does is it sits between two sandwiched materials, and it prevents them from vibrating or rubbing up against one another. You can see how that works. The problem with this is that it may kind of hold water a little bit. I think that's probably why they don't want you to put this inside inside the door. They also have a different material for that. I can't imagine that. Let's just pull it apart and see. You can see how densely woven, not even woven, just how densely matted this material is here. Great for sound, or not sound trapping rather, but just for two pieces that may vibrate against one another and cause noise. This is a great material. This is their 1/2 inch fiber mat. This comes in 56-inch by 28-inch pieces, so a 10.9 square foot piece goes for $90. This is their same material. Maybe it gets a little bit better visualization because you have more of the material to look at here. But this is their 1-inch material. Again, the same 10.9 square foot piece, 56 by 28 inches. This goes for $99 per square foot. A little bit more expensive. And then on the top, you can see there's this sort of kind of papery fabric material that would be touching whatever the other surface is to keep things nice and quiet, to keep them from vibrating against one another, and to keep them from causing all sorts of extra noise in your vehicle with your aftermarket stereo system, or just with your vehicle if it rattles a lot at all. The next material that we're going to be talking about here is called, I'm going to go a little bit out of order. This is called Barrier. So Barrier does not have any sort of adhesive layer on it. You can see there is a layer of closed cell foam, and this is actually ResoNix's 3S foam, or 3mm soft closed cell foam. If we get a look at the texture, you can see the texture is a little bit rough. By comparison, we'll show you a little bit later on. This material is sandwiching a layer of lead. This layer of lead is 1/32 of an inch thick, according to the website, and weighs 2 pounds per square foot. So this has got a little bit of heft to it. This does not have an adhesive layer like we just mentioned. The best way to apply this or to get this into where you want to be is probably going to do things like rivet or a more permanent mounting option. When you have the outer door skin and then you have the inner metal door skin, sometimes if you take that plastic panel off, you'll see holes that are in the outer or in the inner door skin, and these are things that you can use to access and service your window, your motor, if you have little wires inside of there, if you may need to do work inside there, or the mechanic may need to do work inside of there. And those holes allow air to pass through. If you are wanting to stop that, this is a great way to provide a seal for those large holes in the inner metal door skin of your vehicle in order to improve your sound, I guess your sound quality. Very heavy stuff. This is a very expensive product. These sheets are 54 inches by 36 inches, so 13.5 square foot is $345. So this is not going to be something that you probably do initially, unless you just got it like that. Good on you if you do. But you can see how a material like this with some weight, some foam on both sides would really work well to reduce resonance. Lead is a very soft material. It will absorb sound. It's very pliable, so you can mold it into the different shapes that you want. The lead will probably allow it to take a rivet or a screw and hold it relatively well. The closed cell foam will allow a little bit of separation between whatever layers you're trying to have, and maybe just add a little bit to that sound deadening quality or that tempering quality. The next material we're going to talk about is Guardian, ResoNix Guardian. This is another product that's multi-layered, a lot like the barrier is. This is a layer of hydrophobic melamine. So hydrophobic means it resists water. There's a layer on top, which is an inch thick. There's a layer underneath, which is a 1/4 inch thick. It sandwiches this area here of mass-loaded vinyl. So 1 inch thick of the hydrophobic melamine. This is 1/8 of an inch thick, according to the website, of mass-loaded vinyl. And this is another 1/4 inch of the hydrophobic melamine. Again, it has the adhesive barrier, and it has a little paper on the top. The way that this is supposed to work is, again, you'll sort of peel off the adhesive layer. This will apply to the outer door skin on top of your CLD already. So if you can imagine, the CLD has been applied to your vehicle and is helping to do its resonance and vibrational reducing work. And then you have this other much larger melamine and mass loaded vinyl. This is going to be things that help with sound deadening. The website also includes that this may have a thermal or an insulating factor as well, which is really nice. Again, this is a product that is, they're very proud of. These come in 1 foot by 1 foot sheets. You get 6 square feet per package. Each package costs $330. So this is not a small investment. This would be a very large upgrade to your sound treatment inside of your vehicle. But I think this would also not only have sound enhancing qualities, it may also have thermal enhancing qualities. When we talk about thermal enhancing qualities, it may keep your vehicle warmer in the winter and cooler in the summer. You may have some energy reducing savings. There's not anything on the website listed to support that. But if you look at the quality of this material, if we think about the characteristics or the properties that this material might have, I can see how sound deadening would be a part of what this could do. I could also see how thermal improvement could be a thing. And there's the very sticky adhesive that goes on the back. Guardian, this is a great product. Again, very expensive, but might be something to think about if you're really after that next level sound treatment material. Back to some more basic stuff. We're going to talk about ResoNix's closed cell foam. And they have 2 different closed cell foams. These are 2 different thicknesses of the same kind. This is their soft, what they call their soft closed cell foam. It comes in a 3 mil piece, It comes in a 7mm piece. We'll take a look at the 7mm pieces because it's easier. And if we take a look at the texture, we consider the texture and the light, we can see how it's a little bit more, it's not porous maybe, but it does look open. The texture is a little bit more rough. It's not dry at all. It's nice and spongy. When you compress it, it immediately holds itself back in. This is another material that you could lay on top of your CLD. This is a material that you use to decouple. It has a lot of different applications for it. Again, the 7mm and the 3mm. I think of this as something that might go between thin plastic panels, beauty panels, to keep them from vibrating or rattling against each other if you have the music cranked really loud or if your car is kind of rattly. This is something that can help reduce those. The other kind of closed cell foam they have is their 3F, so 3mm, just like this 3mm, but instead of having this sort of open texture that you can see on the soft foam, this looks a little bit more flat. It's definitely a little smoother when we touch it. It doesn't feel quite as, I know sticky is not the right word, but it's a little bit smoother. I think this is something that also could probably go in between plastic panels to help reduce with vibration. If I'm being real honest, I don't have a real great read on what's the difference between the soft and the firm outside of what their textures are, and they do appear to have, at least with just a shade tree feel, a different density. So I think it may be just a thing where you have to, this is probably something that would work well if you put it underneath spots where wires are going to cross over so that wires don't rattle against back and forth in places. I think this would be a great use for something like that. You could use this and cut it into strips for seals between your speaker panels and your mounts, just anywhere you would not like air to escape, or anywhere you'd like to reduce any kind of resonant or vibrational energy. This feels like it may be a little bit more durable than this, but I think it may just be a circumstance of different applications in which one is most correct. Another closed cell foam product that ResoNix provides is their closed cell foam strip. You can see that this is about 1 inch thick. They say it's about 3/4 of an inch thick at the thickest, and it's about 1/2 inch thick between these areas where there are these relief cuts. These relief cuts are nice because if you look, you can sort of bend this whole thing into a circle, and that's kind of how they market this on their website. They sell these in very long strips that are 30 inches long. You can bend this around the outside, and so if I have my door mounted in the door, or my speaker mounted in the door, and then I place this 30-inch long strip and I curl it around and I circle it around the outside of the speaker, this is going to serve kind of like as a speaker ring. So the adhesive part obviously will be against the speaker mount or somewhere near the speaker, and then this foam will make contact with the outer door panel to sort of create, if you can imagine that this is the speaker here, and now here I have my surrounding door or my surrounding speaker ring, and it's going to sort of focus all of that sound through this ring and make sure that none of it escapes out back into the door and comes out through the door panel. Very cool stuff. Again, it has a little self-adhesive back onto it. You just peel it off and stick it on. The last material that comes in the ResoNix Sample Kit is their solderless RCA. I'm not going to be using any of this. I'm getting RCAs from somewhere else, but I just wanted to go over it because it does look nice. There's a flathead screw that you can see in there. It's a pinch screw that goes inside. They advertise this as a solderless RCA connection. They include some of this wire here. I'm not sure if you can see that. Let's try to zoom in. There are instructions on how to do this. There's a ground side and a live side. And then I'm sure there are instructions from the website about how to put this all together. I'm not entirely sure how that works, but it is something to do. If you feel like building your own custom length RCA cables, these look to be very nice. They're hefty, they have good quality to them. Apparently they are each individual colored, so you can run long lines and you're not going to get confused about which one is which. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. This was just to kind of show what the different Materials for sound treatment are that ResoNix offers in their ResoNix Sample Kit. You can go online and buy this. It is $1. I'm not affiliated with ResoNix. I don't get any money from this. I paid for this with my own money. I will be installing ResoNix material in my 2021 Toyota Tacoma. As I put my sound system in, I hope to make more videos about that. I know this is a long video, just supposed to be educational. Thanks so much for watching if you're all the way here. Hope you have a great day.